Malala's perspective is what we get into this morning, and of course looking into party defections and mergers ahead of 2027. We had this conversation, we had this invitation out even before some of the major defections that we saw happening yesterday. So he's here. He's the deputy party leader of DCP party, Cleophas Malala. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
You're fine?
Good.
Good. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Before we start off into this conversation,
we begin with the proverb of the day.
Well done.
Can I give you one?
You know you should come and
I give you guys
you
today.
should come and co-host this show with us one day.
Today I'm the one giving out.
Maybe Dennis will allow you. I don't know.
So we start with mine,
And then
you will give us yours.
Okay.
But today, first of all, we are in Madagascar, fourth largest island in the world. Yeah. And in Madagascar, it is also known as Vanilla Land. So if you are a lover of vanilla City is in Madagascar because they are the largest producers of natural vanilla. Their wildlife, I like to move it. King Julian. Of penguins of Madagascar. You can only see him in Madagascar, nowhere else. Yeah. But the proverb, advice is a stranger. If he is welcomed, he stays for the night. If not, he leaves the same day. How would you interpret it?
Depending with the person receiving the advice, advice can be used positively by being accommodated by the same person who is being advised. And if he has a rigid mind, then definitely advice will not be will not sit there for a long while. And therefore we're saying that when somebody is advised, then it all depends with his mentality. So
well interpreted.
So can I give you mine?
Can't wait.
Go ahead.
Okay. Think a Nigerian proverb.
These Nigerians.
Good.
Well,
please look at that.
where God boils his yams, that is exactly where the devil roasts his fish.
Where God boils his yams,
that is exactly where the devil roasts his fish.
Interpret the proverb for us.
No, I wouldn't.
We should just leave it like that.
Yes.
It's likely that in the course of this conversation, the interpretation of that proverb is going to come to light.
Okay. So you guys are just good examiners. Good enough.
So, you, in the last couple of, actually a few days ago, went on and said that the people of Western, the Mulembe nation, must come together on a cause. And after that, we started to see what people would call from major defections taking place, whether it's Tim Wanyonyi leaving ODM, whether it's Wamunyenye, whether it's Bifoli, whether it's Wangamati, all saying this cause looks like something that we want to tag on to and we're going for it full throttle. Is it?
Oh, yes. In every electioneering or campaign periods, we always have shifting alliances. We always have shifting allegiance. And every political season is approached using political blocks. And in Kenya, tribal blocks have proved to be one of the most effective ways to approach an election. And it has been long overdue when the community that I emanate from, that is the Mulembe community, we've never been united for our own sake. We've always been united to benefit other people. And therefore, this time round, we are saying that we are the second most populous community in this country, and we need to take part significantly in the election of people who are going to govern us in the next 5 years. We emanate from a region whereby we are an agricultural region. We depend majorly on agriculture, and in the recent past, the sector more specifically in sugarcane and maize, has not been doing well. And we've been complaining, our factories are not doing well, we do not have good market for our maize and our generally agricultural produce. And we said, this time round, we do not want to complain to people. We want to participate and choose leadership that will be accountable for the revival of the economy of our people. That is why we are saying that it is not bad to think ethnically, because the Constitution envisaged that Kenya consists of different ethnical groups, and therefore it's not a crime for any Kenyan to think that if you start being ethnical, you are being tribal. No. What is discouraged is negative ethnicity.
Okay.
But if you're coming together for a good purpose, for a good cause, there is nothing wrong with that. And therefore, we have said categorically, we belong in different political vehicles. For example, I am in DCP. I'm the deputy party leader of DCP.
Yes.
That does not stop me from tolerating an imagination of supporting one of our own. And that is why we are saying, for this particular cause, our son, Edwin Sifuna, has given himself out. He has offered himself to run for the presidency.
Has he, though?
Yeah, and that is the feel on the ground. He has. He does not have to announce. Politics has got strategy. And you do not just say everything anytime. We have what we call strategic pronouncements. And therefore, from the body language, from the engagements that our brother Edwin Sifuna has been having, and even if you felt the mood on the ground, many people would want Edwin Sifuna to run for presidency. And I have said, as to when that time comes, I'll be on the forefront to support him.
How would you be at the forefront to support him when we have the DCP as well with its party leader? I know they've not announced about presidency, but it said as well that it would want to be president. So isn't that confusing in one way or the other?
Or support Kalonzo Musyoka.
Or support Kalonzo Musyoka as well. So where does that leave you as the DCP party leader, where as the DCP deputy party leader, where DCP is seemingly moving in a certain direction?
We exist within the precincts of a united opposition. We know very well that in Kenya, where we are right now, one person cannot go all the way in an election and be a formidable force. We are alive of the fact that in the near future, the Linda Mwananchi team and the united opposition will come together. As to when they will come together, I have declared and I have said categorically that I will be supporting Edwin Sifuna and his aspirations. He has said he wants to be the president. I am the DCP deputy party leader. You heard me right last time when I said I sincerely vouch for Edwin Sifuna to be the deputy president. You saw me say that the other time, that the most convenient position for Edwin Sifuna is the deputy president. I was saying that knowing that my party leader is running for presidency. And therefore, if I'm given if my party leader is running for presidency, I wouldn't say at this particular time that Edwin Sifuna should go for presidency. I'll be undermining the party. That is why I said Edwin Sifuna can be a very good deputy president. That was my pronouncement, knowing very well that my party leader will be on the ballot.
So you're saying things, and I know you're a playwright, but you're saying things without saying them, Malala, because in this case, there are two things that counter each other. One, you're supporting Edwin Sifuna as if he... in the next few days, when this homecoming and this announcement is made, for which we're seeing a lot of people decamping and saying that we are now throwing our full support behind this team, you're saying you will support him. The party for which you are deputy is clearly moving in a different direction.
No, the same direction.
The same direction, but with a different individual.
We are both one term.
But with a different individual to sit at the helm.
Yes.
Which essentially, whether you like it or not, doesn't put people in the same path. It puts them at crosshairs.
No, not really.
No? So does that mean that at some point, should it be that Edwin Sifuna is the one that is going to lead, that you would then also leave DCP and join? Would you be one of the decampers as well?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
In 2002, we had the NAC coalition. We have different ways in which we can coexist, even when we have competing interests. For example, we will decide to maybe form a coalition party, and then we support the candidates who will run on the coalition party. We will have some seats which will be preserved for candidates who will run for coalition who will run in the coalition party. There's a difference between a coalition party and a coalition of parties. Kenya Kwanza is a coalition of parties. NAC in 2002 was a coalition party. Azimio was a coalition party. And therefore, what we are saying is that we would maybe have, even if Edwin Sifuna says he's running for president, Matiang'i has also declared the same. Kalonzo has also declared the same. My party leader has also declared the same. We have said that we can only have one leader at a time. We will go on the negotiating table, and as to when that time comes, the person we will settle on as the most preferred presidential candidate as a united opposition front, we will all support him. And therefore, there's no cause of alarm when I say that my party leader will be running for presidency. I fully support. I am his deputy. I have got the obligation to support my party leader and my party in his aspirations to be president. But at the same time, I emanate from a community that demands that, come on, charity begins at home. My party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, is the father of all the syllabus that says charity begins at home. And therefore, I will not be doing any mistake for me to rally behind my brother, Edwin Sifuna. And therefore, as I've stated here before, that as to when we will be on that table of wanting to choose who will fly our presidential candidate, our presidential flag, the candidate who will fly our presidential flag, I'll be backing my brother Edwin Sifuna. If he's given the opportunity to fly, we will be happy. If he sits ground and he's given the opportunity to be the deputy, again, we have no problem.
Yeah. I mean, as what you're seeing right now is political movements where everyone is defecting based off the movement or the support of Wananchi that we see at the moment. And with that, especially what we saw immediately after Downlaod, then it is expected that many people will start moving grounds, because the ground, like they say, politics is local. So with what we've seen already happening in Western Kenya, with the defections that have already happened, are we likely to see more defections coming into place? Or if you have any information, is there anyone who's told you tunakuja?
Oh yes, we are going. Yeah, and I want to say that it's still too early in the game. Huh?
Yeah.
The real transfer window will be from January. The real transfer window, and you'll see people shifting sides, having intra-coalitions movements. We'll see people post Downlaod. I've had friends who have been religiously in the supporting the two-term brigade, but now after the Downlaod indicators, they are contemplating coming on our side. I'm speaking to so many of them who are staunch members of the two-term team. And now they are saying, come on, hey, this Downlaod has really given us a red flag, and therefore we must align with reality. They are coming. We have those who will maybe feel that their interests are not catered for in the united opposition. They will definitely move toward the government side. And that is not new in politics. Shifting alliances is expected. I am not an exception. All politicians serve where their interests are catered for, and it has been proven even in previous engagements that if the interest of your political party or the interest of your community is not catered for, you have no business to be in that coalition. And therefore, it will be a matter of wait and see. But I am certain that in January, from January, February, you will see a lot of realignment and alignment.
So it sounds like the club that suddenly starts scoring all the goals and gets all the fantastic players, then they start winning, and everybody in the fans decided that now that's going to be the club that they support, without looking at what it really takes to score the goal. And so that goal in this case is the issues that Kenyans are really worried about. And I'm wondering, if you give Olkalou as an example where people are saying, oh, okay, so then maybe we need to move to this side because those are the guys that are winning. What about the issues? Who's really the one who is going to come in? Who are the ones? Or are the people who are decamping, joining, moving because a wave is going in a particular direction? Or are they really concerned about the issues that made Olkalou what it was?
Unfortunately, we haven't matured as a democracy to an issue-based political style. Many Kenyans come together to form government simply because of their community's interest. That is a development interest. They will say, okay, for us as Turukanas, we think that it is better, we are better, our interests are taken better off in this coalition than these other coalition. And slowly we are coming to an issue-based approach in politics. And I want to say that the emergence of the Gen Z movement has really brought around about the issue of discussing issues. You've seen in the recent elections, we saw people coming together as tribes. In 2013, you saw URP and TNA. There were simply two tribes coming together to outshine the rest. You've seen the tactic the government is using. It wanted to use the traditional 41 against one tribe, whereby they wanted to isolate the Kikuyus against the whole nation. And therefore, everybody, in as much as people are trying to come out as issue-based politicians, for example, when you listen to William Ruto, you might think that he does not recognize anything called tribe in his life. Yet, the biggest tribalist in this country is William Samoei Ruto. The biggest tribalist. The patron of all tribalists is William Samoei Ruto. I will state that without blinking my eye. That the biggest tribalist. Look at all the state corporation appointments. Yesterday we had appointments. You saw all the appointments were appointments for convenience sake. You know, when you tell us that you're appointing Atoli's wife to be a member of the Intergovernmental Technical Committee, basically we can see through your game plan that, come on, you are appointing Atoli's wife. You're not appointing Mary Kilobi because she qualifies or because she has a background that will help in that particular setup. You basically appointing or rewarding your friend Atoli. And we want to say on behalf of lawyers, President William Ruto, we are very satisfied. And thank you so much for appointing Mary Kilobi, Atoli's wife. We are very grateful. We shall vote for you.
Really?
Yeah, we shall vote for you. Because now he thinks he has sorted out all the lawyers by appointing Atoli's wife.
I mean, Cleo, even as we talk about that, there is the question of what's the guarantee that anyone else who will form government will do things differently? You know why? Because from where Kenyans sit, especially just what you've stated, that there would be movements, people will be defecting now, joining the winning team. And the responsibility then would go to even DCP in terms of ensuring that the people that they will field for these positions are people who meet the threshold. Because what's the point of saying that you want change when everybody else who has condemned the movement, everybody else who Kenyans have sought to win, and come there and be allowed to get in and run for these offices? Isn't just the proverbial phrase of we are doing things the same way with the hope that things would change. So what's the responsibility of the party pretty much in making sure that individuals who will be presented to Kenyans are those that meet the threshold and not recycling?
Unfortunately, that is the architecture of democracy, of our democracy. Unfortunately, because the very people who are complaining about people who have no agenda being elected are the same people who elect them. You know, this is not an interview, and I think the people who conceived the idea of democracy had envisaged such a situation whereby if somebody is elected and he has no agenda, and he has all the reasons as to the prerequisites of the qualification of that office, he does not meet them. The drafters of, or the people who conceived the idea of democracy had seen that election depicts the will of the people. So you wouldn't argue out that this person is not qualified, this person is corrupt. Yet the people themselves have elected him. And therefore, it starts with the electorate. Then we need to do a lot of civic education to educate people. But at the end of the day, people always retreat to their tribal cocoons. Because Kenya, the people who have been in office before have shown people that, come on, if your community is not in government, you do not benefit. So is it a coincidence today that the just appointed government spokesman, Charles Owino, has replaced Isaac Mwaura on competency basis? Or is
what else would it be?
When you look at all those appointments right now, people are just being strategic when it comes to getting votes in 2027. William Ruto knows very well that now I've lost the mountain. So let me replace this position with somebody who is going to give me more votes. And that's, if you saw those appointments, they're basic, and you'll be seeing more, even in future.
He's speculating about looking at having been close, so you maybe understand the way in which some of these things work.
Yep.
We're going to come back and look at some other meetings that took place that perhaps that would have a bearing on what would happen in the future. Stay with us. Cleophas Malala is the deputy party leader of DCP and of team meetings with other presidential candidates. Just yesterday, presidential aspirant Jimmy Wanjigi had a meeting with your party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, and it was the second meeting in as many months. And they went to chart the way forward. I'm not quite sure what direction forward would be, but he thanked him for his hospitality and then went on to say that they continue to work together. What could that possibly mean?
Working together. It means working together.
One is a presidential aspirant. Another has thrown his weight behind another presidential aspirant.
Oh, yes. As I told you, my sister, we must have a united approach towards the election. And everybody has got the freedom to declare his or her aspirations. And all our principals in the United Oppositions have declared aspirations. You remember, even in the previous coalitions, Kalonzo used to declare his presidency. Baba goes to declare his presidency. Joho, even within the ODM party, once Joho and Oparanya paid for the presidency ticket, nomination ticket. And therefore, at a point, and that, to me, I predict that point of agreeing on who becomes the presidential candidate, it is strategic for the United Opposition to get a presidential candidate early next year, say February, March. But having a definite presidential candidate at this moment will be an exercise in futility.
So what you're saying is that everybody who's an aspirant at the moment says, I want to be president, You're saying that doesn't really matter. You're testing the ground with maybe getting people excited that perhaps there could be a direction in which they're
not really getting,
but nothing is cast in stone.
Not really getting excitement out of it. We are saying that let everybody who aspires to be a presidential candidate declare. And then we will come on the negotiating table, and now every person will be coming out with reasons as to why he believes is best fit to fly the flag. To me, it has happened before, it will happen now, and it will also happen in the future.
Yeah.
What we have realized that as a country, because of our current social setup, no individual can run for an elective position without seeking collision with other partners. And therefore, as to when we'll be crossing the year, we will be shaping up into agreeing on who will fly the United Opposition flag. But as it stands, everybody is aspiring. The anthem is the same. The anthem is one term, that we have agreed that this regime must go. And it must not go because we want to sit at the helm.
Okay.
It must go because of the atrocities that this regime has committed to its citizenry. Remember the killings, the Gen Z killings.
Yes.
You remember what happened? We have had so many young people being abducted, so many young people being killed. The other day we were seeing the proceedings of Albert Ojwang. We want to remind Kenyans that this is a regime that kills its own citizens within the custody of police. We have seen extrajudicial killings, abductions. And we are saying for us to end all these shenanigans, we must take this regime out of power. And therefore, when you see many people aspiring to become president, it's because they have seen there is a gap in the presidency that needs to be replaced. So basically, what we are putting forth to our membership, this is not confusion. Many people wanting to vie is not confusion at all. It is the art of people mobilizing their political backgrounds and bases to bring them on the table so that we have the requisite numbers to take William Ruto home.
Kenyans are asking, as much as there is what is being pushed, the one-term movement that does exist, beyond that, there are issues that Kenyans want addressed, key among them being debt. We have insecurity in the country today. We have disappearance, extrajudicial killing. We have the economy as some of the big ticket items that Kenyans are talking about. And as there is consolidation of everybody who wants to be president, Kenyans are saying, but we want to see the agenda and the issues, even as we sit down to decide that perhaps you are worth the vote that we will be giving. What are some of the issues that then the United Opposition are moving with to tell Kenyans, once we get there, this is what we'll do, because that does not have to wait until when you settle on a presidential candidate?
First of all, I want to say that as to when we shall have our coalition, we will come with with a common manifesto that will sell to people. But as it is right now, first of all, our biggest push is first of all to restore Kenya to where it was before. Restoring Kenya to when Mwai Kibaki left us, and even Uhuru Kenyatta. One, on the issue of corruption, we've seen this government has normalized corruption, whereby we can even have very big contractors being awarded contracts without following the due process. And we have also seen a leakage in public funds, whereby we are not getting value of our money in these projects. You find a project that costs, say, 33 billion Kenya shillings, and now is exaggerated to almost 200 billion Kenya shillings. Look at Talanta Hela. Talanta Hela is a good project. We needed a state-of-the-art stadium, yes, but if you compared the prices of constructing facilities of similar look, we will get that our Talanta Hela Talanta Stadium is 4 times more expensive than any other. And we are saying for us to have sanity in our fiscal space, we need to have a government that is sober, a government that is not out just to please the masses, a government that is cognizant of the fact that public debt, if not well managed, then we are sinking this country into the abyss of despair. Second, we need to have an administration which cushions and which believes in the implementation of Chapter 4 of our Constitution. The Bill of Rights. We need to have a government that respects human rights. You've seen journalists on the streets while covering political events being harassed, some of them being abducted. You saw even the chief editor of Standard, my friend Alex, was being chased around in the bushes of Nakuru just because he is playing his role in the society. So we need to have a country that respects the rule of law, one, that respects human rights, and we are saying that we want to restore that dignity as the united opposition.
Yeah.
On the issue of education, we have seen the president guessing on how to execute the education model. Now he's saying that he started by saying that we will have this new university funding model. It went down the drain. Nothing is working. Now he's contemplating to switch to 100% funding model. He's not sure on which model to execute. So we have a president who is just a guesswork president. And he does not believe in public participation. If President William Ruto had done a comprehensive feasibility study on the issue of university funding, he would have gotten it right. But he wakes up in the morning, implements what is fermenting in his heart or mind, and then execute. And to me, I say all this is a form of incompetency while in office. As a leader, you cannot roll out a program that affects masses without feasibility study. Look at how we have handled the housing levy thing. No feasibility study was done. It was just an idea incubated in William Ruto's mind. And if today we are depending on how William Ruto sleeps and dreams, that's how we are running the country, then we are doomed. The housing project, right now, we just have brick and mortar development. It ends at that. It has not stimulated our economy. In fact, it has killed the private sector, the construction sector. It has killed it because now we have government competing with the private sector. We have companies that are closing up, and many Kenyans are going even into depression just because they have lost their jobs, occasioned by an egocentric idea from one person. And therefore, we want to restore the country to where it was before, where before government implements any flagship project or any idea that affects masses, we must have a feasibility study. It must go through public participation so that we have concrete ideas being implemented and not just guesswork. Yep.
How do you get the people who at the end of the day have the responsibility because of the numbers to then make a decision about changing the trajectory that Kenya is going on? Because, I mean, you just have to open your eyes to see what the situation is. It's felt in pockets. It's seen in the infrastructure. It's understood. In terms of the micro, the economy is actually taking a nosedive. Now, how do you get Kenyans to see and connect the dots? Because what I hear you saying is that there's somebody who's messing around with the woodwork and you need to take that person out of the room. And that's the number one agenda. Then after that, there's certain things that need to be fixed. How do you get Kenyans to latch onto the idea to say, okay, this is what we want to do? Because they're the ones who are going to give you the permission to do it by voting.
Of course, we're going to craft a manifesto that during the dissemination of the same manifesto to the people, we'll be able to break it down to a language that people can understand. Many people do not understand delicate or, let's say, complicated ideas. Like when you talk about the economy and how we're going to manage public debt, many people do not understand the intricacies. Like, for example, right now, William Ruto is taking advantage of that gap in the society to even borrow more without approval of Parliament. As it stands right now, William Ruto has even gone to an extent of forming a parallel borrowing model. You've seen him trying to mobilize funds to do the Rironi Mau Summit Road, the Bomas of Kenya. Mm-hmm. That is borrowing, and borrowing is borrowing. Even if you use whatever terms that you are using, borrowing is borrowing. He has come up with something called infrastructure fund, which to me, I believe, is just a conduit to continue borrowing without without Parliament approval. And therefore, these complicated economic issues must be simplified to the common mwananchi to see the sense. Some of those people who are singing two-term do not know that in every minute, Kenya is borrowing over 33 million Kenya shillings. Every minute. And therefore, it depends with us leaders. How are we going to disseminate the same information and break it down in a language that can be understood? And that is why I love my party leader. He's able to demystify and simplify William Ruto's deeds in very simple language that people can understand, that if you are not keen, you might think that he does not have an agenda.
Okay.
Yet, he is communicating to the masses.
I mean, as we talk about demystifying the same, one of the big ticket items, let's just handle debt. And when we talk about debt, I bring that forth because Jimmy Wanjigi is huge on debt, and especially ODS debt and the economy of the country. And he met with the DCP party leader, and one would hope that these some of the issues that they discuss. So from DCP's perspective or point of view, how bad is the debt problem in the country, and what are some of tukishika Biblia tuweke chini? What are some of the initiatives put in place to address the odious debt problem that the country finds itself in? Because Jimmy Wanjigi says, don't pay. What is DCP saying on odious debt?
And that is why we are coming together.
Yeah.
We are coming together so that everybody brings in his ideas. And then as to when we shall have formed a coalition, we will now sit down and agree on our approach on different sectors. Like in the agricultural sector, we will want to ask ourselves, what is our position on the issue of subsidized fertilizer? Is it a devolved function that should be left to the county government or not? We will have a position on that as a coalition and communicate in our manifesto. We will go to sectors like education and say, come on, what is our position? Is it possible for us to fund education to university level for free? Do we have the resources? We will get our experts and advisors on the same. So it will be responsible for me or premature for me to come here today and tell you that now this is the position. We are going to get experts to tell us. And my personal position on the issue of public debt, we need to do two things. One, have a comprehensive audit on the public debt. We should know that this money was borrowed in 1996. What did it do? And if we find out that we had borrowings that had been misappropriated before, action must be taken to those individuals, whether they are retired, whether they are still in government or out of government. Action must be taken, and they must be liable for the misappropriation. Second, after we do a comprehensive audit, we must have a national conversation with the people of Kenya and tell them, come on, this is where we are as a country. Are we able to slow down certain political or certain projects? First of all, to reduce this debt, or should we continue borrowing? Let us have a national conversation. I am 100% sure if we told Kenyans here today that, come on, we have a very shrunk fiscal space in our budget, and we do not have budget for development. And therefore, we need an extra 500 billion shillings to construct a road from Mombasa to Malaba, and that money, we are proposing that in all your transaction, M-Pesa transaction, kindly pay an additional 5 shillings. Kenyans will definitely agree to that proposal, knowing and having been taken through the information or that space of public debt. They will be able, sawa, we can, 5 shillings, we can, and it becomes now an agenda for Kenyans. And therefore, we must have a national conversation on matters public debt so that Kenyans, we move with Kenyans. Because if we do not bring them on board, we will be doing an exercise in futility, because they will still say that, come on, we are mismanaging the country. And therefore, my appeal to the united opposition as to when we shall form government, we must have a united approach and a people's-driven approach in governance.
One thing that we want to look into and probably put this thing to bed once and for all, because it's been asked several times, but let's do it here, is that Malala and William Ruto have actually not broken up, and that you possibly could be doing the bidding for him still, and that you're going to shock everybody at the last moment and go back to him. It's kind of like your ex that you can never really get rid of.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's a prophecy.
It's a prophecy. You know, some prophecies come true.
Yeah, depending on the believers.
Okay.
One thing I want to say here categorically that, as I told you, we are going to have shifting alliances in future. And in politics, we have no permanent enemies or permanent friends. We have no permanent enemies and permanent friends. And therefore, you will see people crossing over. And I don't want to say that for me, I'm an exception. No. In future, you'll find me working with
William Ruto,
Abraham Kindiki. You'll see me working with Oscar Sudi. You'll see Rigathi Gachagua working with somebody else across the Nini. You even saw that Rigiji was texting Eric Wamumbi. You know, people talk. And this idea of wanting to segment Kenyans, that if you are a one-term person, you are not supposed to speak to a two-term person. To me, I do not subscribe to that nonsense.
Are you currently speaking to President William Ruto?
I have not spoken to him for over 2 years now. And but that does not stop me from talking to him as to when it arises.
So if a possibility arises where you could work with William Ruto, who in the last 2 years you've castigated, come close to insulted, come close to talking about the fact that today you've even said that he's the biggest tribalist in the country, that there's a possibility that you would work with him again, you would embrace that with open arms?
As to when I will speak to William Ruto, I will, before I make any decision, I will ask him, have you stopped extrajudicial killings? Definitely, he hasn't. He's still seeing people being abducted. Have you stopped warrant corruption in your government? Definitely, he has not. Have you implemented the 172 promises that we promised Kenyans in 2022 when I was in Kenya Kwanza? Definitely he has not. And therefore, as to that time, a decision will be made based on those issues. But for me to come on national television and say that I will not speak to this one, I will not, I'll be lying. Everybody speaks to everyone. Let Kenyans speak. Let us not cocoon ourselves in these parties. At the end of the day, you will see the party leaders shaking hands. And we shouldn't divide our country on political lines. That is how we start losing a country. Let us have people talking. I can appear on the same photograph with you, but that does not mean that I subscribe to your model of leading.
Yeah. One asks the question then, what will it take for the political class to regain trust from Kenyans, because seemingly that is lost?
Definitely that is lost, and I want to ask the people, exercise your democracy on the ballot. Yeah. Just if you think that a certain leader has betrayed the trust or the belief you had in him, just vote him out. So it all goes back to the people who elect these leaders. Yeah. And that is the architecture of our democracy.
Okay.
Yep.
So Cleophas Malala has said that we're not ruling anything out.
They're not ruling anything out.
But you're not a mole.
I am not a mole. I am a friend to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a friend to everyone. I speak to everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll not stop speaking to everyone. Even in the near future, even when I become president of Kenya, I'll unite Kenyans.
Did he build your house?
Of course, he was a contractor.
He was...
you know, he was a foreman.
In building your house.
Yeah.
He's the deputy party.
It was open bidding or direct?
No, it was direct. He was my friend. I helped him.
He helped you. He was your friend. You gave him a contract.
And you see, let me tell you one thing. You know, you cannot edit somebody's past.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. If I was your friend in the past, you cannot go and edit
and say
that we were not friends.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I was a friend to William Ruto. We disagreed politically, and we are where we are. I am saying William Ruto to go one term.
Okay.
But that does not mean that he was never my friend before.
Okay.
And therefore wanting to associate me with William Ruto. And if you want to call every person a mole because of his past association with William Ruto, then all DCP members are moles. Because now the biggest mole will be Rigathi Gachagua, because
if that's
he
what
was
you're
the deputy. If that is what you're insinuating, I was the Secretary General. You're always calling me a mole because I was William Ruto's Secretary General, and because of my association with him in the past. Then the biggest mole in DCP should be Rigathi Gachagua, because he was the deputy of William Samoei Ruto, if that is what people are looking for. But as we speak right now, a political engagements are dynamic. We keep on changing minds as we move on. One of them being Edwin Sifuna. He's now in talking terms with Gachagua.
So anything can happen.
So is Edwin Sifuna a mole? No. So to me, we are saying we exist in the normal space and a realistic space, political space in Kenya, and therefore we are not any different characters. I speak to everybody. I will continue speaking to everybody. You saw me speaking to Governor Oparanya. I went to visit him in his office.
You did?
Yeah, and we spoke. But that does not mean that I've crossed over. And that also does not mean that Oparanya has crossed over. I'll be going to see I'll be going to see Mzee Francis Atuoli.
Okay.
He cast me, I must undo that cast by going to see him and asking Mzee, come on, why did you cast me? Let us have a candid talk with you.
Do tell us.
We emanate from the same community. He's an elder from my community. I will go visit him. Nobody can stop me from talking to people.
Sawa. He's the deputy party leader of DCP, Cleophas Malala. Thank you for being here this morning. Don't be a stranger. Asante sana. Na naweza tumako salamu. Oh my God, one.
Yeah, natuma salamu kwa wakazi wa Kakamega. Okay. Just asking them to, as we head toward the elections, you have an opportunity now to choose the right governor that befits to lead Kakamega County. I believe I have all the requirements to lead the Kakamega County people. I have been there as an MCA. I was the deputy speaker of Kakamega. I have been played a role of bringing money to the county as a senator, and I have the requisite experience to ensure that I lead Kakamega to its desired destination. So I want to send my salamus to the people of Kakamega who are watching, especially those ones from Navakolo, Kiribati sub-county.
Sawa.
That is where I emanate. By there I come from Navakolo sub-county in Kakamega. And just to say I love you all, I treasure you, na munikumbukeko.
Asante sana.
This is the